interrupt this program for an important update on the latest news from Philippi.
Hello, and welcome to a special bulletin from Philippi News. In the early hours of this morning, a violent earthquake rocked part of the city, causing extensive damage to buildings, including the prison. We go live to our reporter on the scene for the latest update.
Thank you. Yes, I'm here at the scene of last night's unusual events. A huge earthquake hit the outskirts of the city just after midnight last night, extensively damaging the city prison. But it's the exact details of what happened there that are most surprising. I have with me one of the men who was being held in the prison at the time, but who is, as you can see, no longer inside. Please tell us what happened.
Well, it was a bit of a strange night anyway. I was still awake round about midnight. It's hard to sleep when you're chained to a wall. And to make things worse, there were these two guys, Paul and Silas, singing and talking at the tops of their voices.
Are those the same men who've been stirring up the city recently, going around talking about Jesus?
Yeah, that's them. I don't know why they were in prison, really. They're not criminals. Anyway, as they were praying and praising God, the ground started shaking. It was an earthquake. But then, all of a sudden, the chains on our arms and legs just fell off. And what's more, the doors all flew open. I couldn't believe it. We were free.
Strange events indeed. But it wasn't good news for everyone. I have with me here the chief jailer, the man in charge of the prison. You must have feared the worst at this point.
Yes, I did. I was woken by the earthquake. The room was shaking so much I fell out of my bed. When I looked out, I saw to my horror that the prison doors were all open. The Romans don't take too kindly to their prisoners escaping. If they had all got away, that would have been the end of me. Just as I took out my sword, I heard a voice shouting at me from the prison, saying, "Don't harm yourself, we are all here." I couldn't believe it. I grabbed a light and went to see what was going on.
Can you describe what you found to the viewers at home?
It was amazing. All the prisoners were still there, even though they could have run away. This was when I knew it wasn't just a regular earthquake. What are the chances that all the chains would fall off and the doors would open, but nobody would try to escape? No, I knew that God was at work, and I had to find out what was going on. Now these two, Paul and Silas, hadn't stopped going on about God since they arrived here. Somehow I knew that they had the answer, and I begged them to help me.
What was their response?
They told me that I had to believe in Jesus. He was the only one who could save me and my family. Something inside told me that they were right. I needed to know more, so I invited them into my house.
Really? Weren't you afraid of putting your family in danger?
Not at all. Paul and Silas explained to all of us who Jesus is, what he had done, and what we needed to do to live his way. When we heard what they had to say, we knew that it was the truth, and we all decided to follow Jesus from now on. We were all filled with joy, because we now believe in God.
A truly unexpected twist in this bizarre story. What could have been a disaster has transformed the lives of this man and his whole family in the best possible way. But what will happen now to Paul and Silas and the other prisoners? Only time will tell. This is Nick Papatones reporting live for Philippi News. Now, back to the studio.
Thank you, Nick. There's obviously plenty more to come in this fascinating story. Stay tuned to find out how things develop over the coming days, here on Philippi News.